Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about two new movies that I saw this week. The first one is The Holdovers. It's a movie directed by Alexander Payne, who you might remember from Election, Nebraska. I think he did a movie, The Descendants, with George Clooney. I mean, he has done pretty decent movies, Sideways too, with Paul Giamatti, who is also in this movie. And in this movie, Paul Giamatti actually plays a teacher in a boarding school, and he has to stay for the holidays because another teacher that was supposed to stay doesn't want to stay, and he just made up as an excuse. So he is chosen for that task, and all the kids hate him. So the kids that remain in the school, like five kids, just have to stay with him, and they are like mortified because they actually hate him. He's very into studying every single second of the school day, basically, and to remain doing that even in Christmas. So they were really not really feeling that. And among the children, there's a young man whose family had promised him to go to the Caribbean, to Korea, to enjoy the sun and the beach and all of that. But his mother calls him in the last minute to tell him that she is going to take that holiday as a honeymoon with her new husband. So they don't really want him there, basically. So he has to stay in school, and he's very pissed about it. And he's very pissed about his whole life. He has failed in a lot of schools. He has been expelled in a lot of schools. So he's not really featuring being left alone in this boarding school. So it's that relationship between the two of them that starts to blossom, basically, while staying in the school for the holidays, and also with the school chef, basically the school cook, who's a woman that has recently lost her son to the Vietnam War, which is of course exceedingly tragic, and she hasn't really have time to process all of that. So it's very interesting from all those points, and it's really cute and really smart. I would say that Alexander Payne, not Alexander Payne, actually, his writer, because he didn't wrote this screenplay. Alexander Payne actually normally writes his own screenplays, but this time he didn't. It was someone else. I don't remember the name of the screenwriter, but someone else wrote this, and they really did a great job in uniting these three different people, because on paper you have these grumpy old professor who's also cross-eyed, and that's a really fun thing along the whole movie. The cook from the school, and the young student. So they are really different people, and you wouldn't really put them together anywhere else in the world. But things happen, and people that don't have anything to do with each other unite, and they discover that they have, maybe they don't have a lot in common, but they do understand each other, and they can appreciate each other, and they can elevate each other. I mean, the chef and the professor, I mean, she really makes him understand that he shouldn't be as grumpy as he is, and he helps her accepting and processing the death of her son. And the student with the teacher, you have this person that has experienced life, and another person that has not experienced that much of life. So they really teach each other how to chill a little bit and navigate what they have to navigate next in their lives. And even between the chef and the student, he really realizes how to respect other people that are different to him, because of course she's not really someone with money, and he actually, I mean, you understand that these kids in this boarding school have a lot of money, because I mean, the other option for him is going to a military school that, as I understand, is not actually that cheap either. So it's really interesting how they unite all the characters and make them interact in very fun ways. I mean, I won't spoil the movie, but it's really entertaining. Sometimes it's a lot of drama. It's really heart-wrenching, and at some other times it's really fucking hilarious. It's really funny. It's really witty, and it's physical humor, and it's also like really witty lines to say, and there's a lot going on in this movie. And another thing that I really loved is the feel of the movie. I mean, it feels, I mean, it's set in the 1970s, I would say, and it feels 1970s. You feel you're watching a 1970s movie, not only because of the font of the title card and the clothing and the production design, which are great, but also because of the grain of the quality of the image, basically. So that's why the cinematography and especially the film editing and the editing in general of this movie is really well done. It's really it really feels like a movie of that time, so it really helps you get into it, basically get into the groove of this situation and of these people that of course feel a little bit far from us, because not everyone has been in a boarding school. There's also this thick Massachusetts accent all along the movie, not from all characters but for most of them, the chef especially, and it really makes the movie be special, be something very unique, and I think that's very very fun. I really love it for it. Of course, the performances are amazing. Paul Giamatti is fantastic. Davine Joy Randolph is just prolific as the chef, and Dominic Sessa as the student is a ton of fun. I mean, he is a brat, but he's a fun brat, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, this movie is also nominated for Best Picture. I don't think it will win Best Picture, but of course, it really deserved that nomination. And this movie is going to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, because Divine Joy Randolph is actually the best one in this year. I mean, clean sweep for her in every single awards ceremony she has been nominated for. So really great for her, and I hope all these actors get more work, because they are outstanding. I mean, I really enjoy this movie a lot. I really recommend it. As for the second movie, I watched Anatomy of a Fall. It is directed by French director Justine Triet, who is a woman. Maybe that's not evident by the name, but she is a woman. And she has been nominated for the Academy Award for Best Director and also Best Screenplay for this movie. This movie tells the story of a woman, a writer, played by Sandra Holler, who actually is having this difficult life with her husband in France. They live in France, and with their blind son. I mean, he's not totally blind, but mostly blind. And what happens is the kid just goes out and has a stroll with his dog, and when he comes back he finds his dad dead on the snow, and there's a police investigation, and they determine that the wife, Sandra Holler, must have been the one to push her husband or hit his husband in the head and just throw him over the railing, basically, and kill him. So there's all this investigation and of course there's this tension between the mother and the son, because the son doesn't really know what to believe, and he hears things about his parents that he didn't even know. But she is also confronted to the fact, and that is the real meat in this film, that it's not really a movie about a murder. It's not really a movie about a couple even. It's how people don't understand how others live. I mean, there's a rules. There are rules in life and in the law and society that people think they are what they are, basically, that they don't ever move and they don't ever change, and they think that if a woman does this, then this happens. And for example, she's almost crucified by the other lawyer, that she is for being bisexual, basically. So he's trying to tell this story that she had a young woman give her an interview just because she wanted to fuck her or something like that. I mean, it's really insane when you realize that it's about also a person that has mental issues, the husband, and never really processed them in a correct manner. He never told anyone else what was going on. So of course, when you have that secret life, basically you are depriving others of helping you and of knowing what is happening. So of course, when he dies, no one really knows exactly what was going on, because even the psychiatrist, and I love this part of the movie, the psychiatrist goes to the stand and he tells you know, everyone that he believes that the woman is to blame because she was very castrating and she was not being really kind basically to her husband, that he had many problems and he felt he had a lot to be blamed for, you know, the accident that made his son blind. However, you realize that it was something very funny, and the lawyer says it like, do psychiatrists and shrinks in general think that the people they are, their clients or their patients, always tell them the truth? I mean, that's idiotic. I mean, and the guy actually felt silent because it's obvious no one is always going to tell the truth because it's exposing themselves too much, and it is the job of a healthcare professional to actually swim beyond the lies and actually arrive at some point at some truth of the person. So it's really interesting how they show these interactions between a couple and how misunderstood they can be by other people that are not in the couple. I mean, people are so different from one another sometimes, and they handle things so differently. So for example, there's a scene when they show a fight between, an argument basically about between the wife and her husband, and you're supposed to side with the husband because of what he says, but I sided with Sandra Holler the whole time because he's basically trying to say that she is not allowing him to do this and this and this, and I'm like, you're an adult. Yes, an adult with a child, but an adult. Do whatever the fuck you want. You want to write a book? Go write it, bitch. Like, go do your thing. Like, what is holding you back? And why haven't you said anything until now? Because the argument is happens like some days before the accident, or the day before, something like that. So it's really wild. And you're supposed to side with him at some point, and you know, there's doubt in the whole movie if it was her or if it wasn't. So, you know, they try to play with you, but I mean, I wasn't getting that. I was always on her side because it was obvious that it wasn't her. So maybe that part of the screenplay is not as well done, because I don't know if she wanted some mystery in the screenplay, because it wasn't there, to be honest. I think that was poorly executed, if that was the intent. I'm not really sure if that was the intent, to be honest. I think that Justin Trier just wanted to show how confusing and how confused people can be by the experience of others, and I think that's very interesting. Again, the screenplay is very good. Sandra Holler is fantastic. I mean, all the performances are great, but Sandra Holler is especially fantastic. I think this is very deserving of the best directing and best picture nominations. And they nominated, some people say that Justin Trier was nominated over Greta Gerwig, but to be honest, she was so much better than Greta Gerwig, and they could even have been nominated together, but I prefer this direction than Greta Gerwig's for Barbie, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, the movie is really, it has fantastic cinematography, even the sound and the score are really good, but it's all about Sandra Holler and the story they're trying to tell, and it's very interesting. And this movie, I think it won the Cannes Film Festival, so you have to see it just for that. So this is everything I have to say for these two movies. Please watch these two movies somewhere, wherever you can find them, and comment down below whatever you think about them. So thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see each other very soon. Goodbye.